Hey everybody, this is Buffy from Buffy's Flavorful Journey. Today is episode 6 of the podcast, and it's going to tie in a bit with episode 4. Episode 4 covered 20 reasons why women over 50 are staying single. Today's episode is going to cover 20 reasons why single women over 50 just aren't dating, because you can be single. Because you can be single and go on dates, but some of us, myself included, we don't even date. So let's go over some reasons why. First one off the top of my head is the desire for independence. You don't have to compromise. You can do what you want to do when you want to do it. You don't have to check in with anyone else. You're an adult. You're over 50. You earned it. So you do what you want when you want. Again, desire for independence. That's number one. Number 2 would be prior bad experiences with dating or relationships. It was so bad that you're just like, not for me. I'm out. I don't want to date. I don't want to have a relationship. That's definitely me. And no, I'm not putting all the blame on the guys. It was my fault too in it. In my opinion, usually relationships, at least in my past, they went bad because both of us, that goes to what former First Lady Michelle Obama said, relationships take work. And, I would add to that, both parties need to put the work into it. And if they don't, it's not going to work. So again, prior bad experiences, that's number 2. Number 3 would be focusing on self-care. You have your interests, your hobbies. You just want to take care of you. You want to learn who you are, what you're about, what you want out of life. And you're focusing on yourself. Nothing wrong with that. I think people need to do that more often. And you'll be better off, at least from my personal experience, I'm better off having focused on myself, learning who I am, what I want out of life, and what I enjoy. So again, focus on your self-care. That's number 3. Number 4 is satisfaction with your social circle. You're satisfied with your family and your friends. You don't need any romantic interest at this point in time. You just want to focus on that. Again, your friends and your family. That's all you need right now. Maybe that's all you can handle right now. So that's number 4. Number 5 could be a perceived lack of suitable partners. Maybe you dated for a little bit and there's just no one out there in your specific age range or whatever your type that you're looking for. You just can't find them. They're not suitable. So you just said, hey, I'm going to take a break and I'm not even going to date. That's another possibility. 6 could be disinterest in online dating. Online dating can be staggering. It's overwhelming. And you find a lot of possible partners out there that they just don't hit it. Whatever your criteria is when you're doing online dating, if you tried it, they're just not hitting it. So you just leave it alone. And it also, you might enjoy traditional ways of meeting people, maybe in a grocery store, church, nightclub if you're doing nightclubs. So you just say, hey, no thanks to the online dating. 7, and this is where I'm at, contentment with solitude. I'm happy with me. I'm happy being alone with me. I'm not lonely, and I enjoy my own company. That has taken years to get to that point to where I know myself. I know what I'm into, what I like, what I don't like, and I'm happy and I'm content being alone. A lot of people don't get to that point, and they're out there seeking a possible partner because they're scared of being alone or they are experiencing that loneliness. But I think, at least for me, from my personal experience, having taken the time to get to know myself, I don't worry about being lonely because I'm not lonely and I enjoy my own company. 8 could be career or personal goals. You're focusing on your career or other goals and hobbies that you have. You're focusing on you again. And you don't have time to be dealing with a possible romantic partnership or relationship. Nothing wrong with focusing on yourself or your career. Everyone should do that, in my opinion, at least once, because you never know how far you can get in your career, or you never know how far you can get with your hobbies unless you focus on them. So again, nothing wrong with doing that if that's what you choose to do. 9 could be complexities of blending families. If there's children and grandchildren, you're not quite sure how or if they're going to blend or mix together. So that could be a reason why a lot of people aren't dating. A lot of single women over 50 aren't dating. And that goes in hand with what we said earlier. You're focusing on your family or your friendships. And you just don't want to mix anything in there, blend anything, because it might blow up on you, 10 could be health considerations. Maybe you're dealing with some health issues, and the thought of bringing in someone else into that or a romantic partnership is just, you can't handle it. and maybe there's fear. You're not sure that he or she is, going to understand or be able to deal with that. Also, it might not be your own health considerations, but maybe your possible partner has some that you yourself can't deal with. So again, health considerations is number 10. 11 is financial independence. You don't want to risk what you worked hard for. Maybe you have a house, you have an account, savings account, brokerage account, investment account, whatever. Basically, your finances are in order, and you don't want to risk that if you bring somebody else into it and their finances are not together. I also heard about, this was on TikTok last year, some men, and it could be women too doing this, but the particular TikTok I saw was talking about men who are over 40, getting in relationships, trying to hurry up and get married because they need health insurance, and their partner has health insurance, and ends up their partner who they marry now has someone to take care of. Again, that goes back with the health considerations of possible partner. I'm not saying it's only men doing this. Again, women could be doing this too, so that's another possibility. Your financial independence. 12, this is me. You enjoying the single lifestyle. If you want to travel spontaneously or do anything on the spur of the moment, you can. You don't have to worry about, let me check with my partner. What's he doing? Or, does he have anything planned? If there's something you want to do, you just do it. And that is immensely freeing, and it's a great sense of freedom, and I really enjoy that. 13, this is me too. Exhaustion with the dating dynamics. Tired of the games, the dynamics, all the foolishness, the mayhem that can go with dating. You're just tired and you're over it. Again, I just want to, you ever heard somebody say, I just want to be? I've said that before. I just want to be. You can be at peace with yourself, be in your house, be whatever, but you just want to have that calm, serene, no drama state in your life. And let's face it, and this can be men or women, they can bring a lot of drama, stress, strife with dating. You just don't want to have that in your life. So I definitely agree with that one. 14, fear of losing autonomy. That's a big one. You're in control when you're single. You make the decisions. But if you have someone else, that you have to consider, you have to consult with them before making any big decisions. You can't go out, buy a car, buy a house, pay for a travel, vacation, or whatever without consulting your partner. But if you're single, you can't do all of that. You're in control. So fear of losing autonomy. I kind of feel that one, definitely. 15 could be something as simple as difficulty meeting new people, especially if you're in a small town or small community. Where do you go to meet people? I mentioned earlier maybe church or grocery store, something like that. But if you're in a small town, doesn't everybody know everybody? And usually everybody's already coupled, they're married or they're in a relationship. So where do you go meet new people? That could be a big one. 16, changing relationship goals. Over time, your relationship goals can change, and more than likely they do. Maybe you no longer want to be in a relationship. Maybe you no longer want to be married. Maybe you just want to be single. That is definitely me. Growing up, I fell into the societal trap that you grow up, you get married, you have kids, the whole shebang. And I realized I don't have to do that, and I didn't do that. So my relationship goals have changed. What about yours? 17, thankfully, does not apply to me. Widowhood and grief. You've lost your partner due to death. And for all of you out there who are struggling with this, God bless you, and my heart goes out to you. I can't even imagine losing my husband, he dies or something. I just can't even imagine that. So for those of you who are going through that, I definitely see why you don't want to jump into the dating pool. You just want to take time to grieve and try to come to terms with the fact that you've lost your life partner. So again, I definitely see how you don't want to be dating going through that. 18, intimacy issues. Let's face it, as we age, things on our body change, they shift, they usually go down, right? And maybe you have health issues. Again, that goes back to maybe you have some chronic illness or whatever we mentioned earlier that you're not sure that a possible partner could deal with, or maybe they may have health issue that you don't think you could deal with. And that will bring intimacy issues into play. And let's be honest, we've all been there. First time you're intimate with your partner, it's a little nerve-wracking. You have anxiety, and if people say they don't, they're lying. That's just my opinion, but they're lying. 19, desire for a drama-free life. Let's face it, when you date and you begin a relationship with someone, you're not just in a relationship with him or her. you're in a relationship with their family too. They may have kids, they may have parents or whatever going on. So you're in a relationship with them too. And sometimes they can be very tumultuous and it can bring all kind of issues up. And you're just like, it's too much for me. I don't want to deal with all of that. Just let me be, like I said earlier. So again, you decide not to date for that reason. 20, and this is one that I have taken years to get to, a belief in self-sufficiency. I don't need to have a partner, a romantic partner in my life to be self-sufficient and to have a great life. I do that and I'm single and I love it. Now, again, this is something that took me years to get to. I didn't just overnight say, hey, I'm happy, I'm content, I'm single, I can do this. I don't need anybody in my life. It took years for me to get there. But if you get there and you're happy being single, be happy. Don't fall into the trap that society may try to lead you down, that being single is bad, being single is wrong. What's wrong with you? You didn't choose to be single. You're single because you can't find anybody. Nobody wants you. BS. Being single can be a great and fulfilling life. Believe you me. Now, the 20 reasons we just discussed, it's a wide range. And they cover personal, social, and practical considerations for women over 50 who choose not to date. It also shows that women over 50, myself included, we are prioritizing ourselves. We are prioritizing our health, our happiness, and our independence. And again, nothing wrong with putting you first. I said it before and I'll say it again. It is my opinion that you cannot love someone until you love yourself. So prioritize you, learn to love you, find out who you are, and be the best version of yourself. And if you do want a romantic partner and you go out there and you look, I think you'll be more successful. You have a higher chance of being successful if you love yourself. Because, and I've said it again, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't think you can love somebody or allow them to love you the right way, the correct way, the way that will lead to a successful relationship unless you love yourself first. Well, thanks so much for spending time with me, family. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in next week's podcast. If you haven't already, please like this video and like the podcast and leave a comment. And subscribe to not only the podcast, Buffy's Flavorful Journey, but also the YouTube channel. I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's podcast, as well as the next video that drops on the channel. Bye for now.